Speaking of international relations, United States President Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan heading to Cairo Wednesday for continued talks regarding Israel-Hamas ceasefire negotiations and a general spike in political tensions across the region. Regional relations appearing to be looking up, and the United States is praising Egyptian leadership for its recent help in maintaining stability, particularly through cooperations with Israel, like hosting Prime Minister Bennett in the Sinai earlier this month and brokering ongoing ceasefire negotiations between Israel and Hamas terrorists in Gaza. But the Biden administration not entirely pleased with the North African Arab nation, and White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan now arriving in Cairo to apply pressure on the El-Sisi government. This after also withholding nearly half of the United States' $300 million in military aid to Egypt, with the State Department explaining that the remaining funds would be released if Egypt addresses specific human rights-related conditions, like its crackdown on political dissent. Egypt, on the other hand, primarily looking to gain the United States' favor in its Nile River Dam dispute opposite Ethiopia. Ethiopia is saying that the dam is necessary for its economic growth, and Egypt is arguing that the dam would destroy its economy while threatening to use any means to stop it. Meanwhile, with respect to Hamas and Israel, nearly 5 months have now passed since the most recent war between them, and the shaky ceasefire barely holding on. Hamas operatives still planning massive terror attacks against Israel, with the IDF preventing them at the last minute during high-profile raids earlier this week, and Israel still limiting the amount of reconstruction aid, like steel and cement, that's allowed to enter Gaza, as it's often abused by Hamas to build weapons or otherwise wage attacks. Some aid allowed, though, including $20 million of Qatari funding that was let through earlier this month, and $50 million more that's set to come in October, earmarked for rebuilding homes.